Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Tonight on the Sun Coast in the threatened zone of a possible deadly, dangerous storms and tornadoes. States across the southeast are being slammed by those storms. 12 people were killed in southern Georgia and 4 died Saturday in Mississippi. The damage from these storms is expected to top $200 million. Now those storms are moving into our area. ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has the latest. Bob.
Yes, Adam, indeed. It's one of those active afternoons and evenings here across the state. We have several tornado warnings in effect right now to our north and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for much of western Manatee County and north Sarasota County. At this time, a severe thunderstorm is moving through Manatee County and moving to the northeast at 50 to 60 miles an hour, producing wind gusts up to 60 to 70 miles an hour. And you see the area, that's the area of concern right there. A severe thunderstorm warning means it's actually happening and occurring right now. We have had some reports of trees down already into southern Hillsborough County with this cell as it makes its way off to the northeast. We are anticipating other severe thunderstorm warnings here in the next hour or so for parts of South Sarasota County. From Sarasota southward to Osprey and Venice, these cells are looking healthier as they push toward the northeast very rapidly at 50 to 60 miles an hour. So we're not going to have much time when it comes to warning folks for these storms. There's a tree down already with some of the strong winds up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. This comes in from Apollo Beach. It occurred just after 6 o'clock this evening. Elsewhere now, some storms near Holmes Beach and just to the northwest of Palmetto and into Bradenton. These do not appear to have any rotation or circulation with them. But as far as the winds go, since they're moving so fast, we're going to see these winds gusting as high as 40, 50, and even 60 miles an hour. These are some queries from the radar in the base of the storm, basically. It's not at the surface, so you can actually bring the wind speeds down about 20 miles an hour, but still 40 to 50 mile an hour winds not out of the question. And those have enough strength to them to down power lines and trees. So keep that in mind. If you live in a mobile home, have a plan, be prepared. We are under a tornado watch. And if a tornado warning is issued, you must seek shelter immediately. And from the Sarasota County EOC, Ed McCrane, he suggests you have a plan of attack. It's not a good idea to be in the manufactured home when a warning is going on. He suggests get into a vehicle and protect yourself with pillows, blankets. In fact, have them in the car already before the warning is issued, so you don't have to worry about gathering those up and just make a break for it right into the vehicle. Again, a high surf advisory in effect all up and down the coast. So flooding is also going to be a concern, especially late tonight and tomorrow morning along the coast. A high tide in just about an hour and a half from now, and high tide expected to be about almost 2 to 3 feet above average. We already have some of the water piling up into the Gulf of Mexico due to that west to southwesterly wind flow. Again, a tornado watch in effect for all of Sarasota and into DeSoto, Hardy, Highlands County, as well as Manatee County until 10 o'clock tonight. That may be extended southward later on tonight. I wanted to show you the products that we watch here. Sometimes some shear will indicate where some rotation may be happening. It's gate-to-gate shear, and right now you can see all that up near Ruskin. We had some rotation there earlier and some near Holmes Beach. It's not very impressive like we saw last year, but it's still fairly significant, as you see right there. Nothing really too much out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but I do expect to see more of these couplets, if you will, developing in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, which would indicate at least a waterspout or possible tornado as they make their way rapidly off toward the northeast, and some hail not out of the question. This storm, again, the tracker is showing some hail with these cells out here just to the southwest of Osprey, also southwest of Sarasota, and eventually moving through Lakewood Ranch. We'll keep you up to date. Again, during this newscast, if we have any warnings issued from the National Weather Service, we'll break in immediately. Back to you, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Tonight we will be having team coverage on what conditions look like right now across the Sun Coast. ABC 7's Kate Flexter is joining us live from an area that usually floods in bad weather, Holmes Beach. Kate, how is it looking out there?
Good evening, Adam. I'm live here on Holmes Beach, and we just had to relocate actually from the beach more inland because it is starting to pick up out here. And as you mentioned, it is an area that's really prone to flooding. Already starting to see some streets flood out here, so we'll keep you updated with that. Now, if you take a look at this footage, this is from earlier today. This is on Lido Beach. It was during low tide already, though. They were starting to see those lifeguard stands start to wash away. That's the big concern out there, is beach erosion, especially as we move towards high tide in the next couple of hours. We talked to a few people out there about those conditions, and a few were concerned. Others were out there enjoying the waves. Take a look.
It's definitely not for beginners. I would say mid-level to advanced for sure, because the riptide's pretty bad.
My biggest concern is tornadoes. I own a house now, so I don't like to be in the path of them.
Tornadoes can happen anywhere, and I don't know quite what we can do to prevent damage.
Well, we've been through a lot of them, but you don't ever want to take one for granted because anything can happen. You know, Mother Nature, she's got a mind of her own.
As I said, things are starting to intensify out here on Holmes Beach. We'll be sure to keep you updated as it develops. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Kate. Along the bayfront in Sarasota, boaters and marina employees are preparing for the severe weather. As the waters become rougher and more choppy, boat owners are securing their vessels with extra lines so that they don't get knocked around during this storm. Down south in Siesta, key wind conditions are picking up as the sun sets. The beaches, for the most part, are pretty bare, even near the recently renovated public beach. ABC 7's Erica Jackson is live on Siesta Beach. And Erica, how are those conditions looking right now?
Hey, Adam, I'm actually right off of Beach Road, right slightly west of Siesta Village, and I was at the village earlier, probably about an hour ago, and it was still full of life. There were families there, but slowly, one by one, they were leaving in cars. And right near at the beach, right near Beach Road, it was the same. About a half hour ago, there were still a couple families, probably about a dozen still on the beach, and slowly they left. And now, right now, if you look at the conditions, the waters are much choppier than I saw even this time an hour ago. The sand is blowing around. I was going to say there weren't that many people on the beach, but there's actually one family that's braving the slight rain that's coming, and they're making their way on the beach. They have flashlights and an umbrella. Earlier, I spoke to a tugboat rescue captain, and he said being out on the water on a boat is not worth the risk in these conditions.
I mean, it's a horrible boating day. Safety is obviously priority. With the winds blowing, I mean, it's hard for me to even stand. I hope everybody's safe inside. I hope nobody's on the boat.
I have a 4-year-old sister, and I take care of her a lot. So, my parents, they barely speak any English, not too much. So, and at school, they teach us about it. They tell us what to do. So I'll tell my parents what to do.
And like I said, here on Siesta Beach, the conditions, they're getting much more rough. Water conditions, the waves are getting much larger. Wind is blowing around. There's just slight rain, just a little drizzle here or there, but we are preparing what could be, and it could be much worse. So for now, live in Siesta Beach, I'm Erica Jackson. Adam, back to you.
All right, Erica, thank you, and you stay safe out there as well. Emergency managers in Sarasota and Manatee counties are monitoring these storms. Emergency operations centers in both counties are at level 3, meaning the EOC is notifying state agencies who would need to take action. The centers will move to level 2 if support for fire, law enforcement, and other first responders becomes necessary. Now, taking a look at how these storms are affecting traffic. Due to the high winds, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge is closed to all vehicles in both directions until further notice. Florida Highway Patrol says there has been wind gusts near the bridge from 43 to 52 miles per hour. Well, the destruction in Georgia has been widespread. A state of emergency has been declared for 7 counties near the Florida state line. 12 people are dead and many others injured. Emergency responders are still searching for survivors and clearing the debris. Before dawn this morning, a tornado leveled numerous homes, killing 7 people near the city of Adel. And here's some video of an aerial shot over Adel, Georgia, where you can see the extent of that damage. Buildings completely gone.
Well, my son and I were out in my shop working, and we heard the alarms, and we looked outside, and by the time we started to shut the door, it hit. Just
destruction all over the place. Trees on across the roads, and some cars, houses, destruction totally. And
those storms caused damage across the state, downing trees and damaging buildings. The city of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, also devastated after a tornado destroyed homes. The National Weather Service says the twister was likely on the ground for 15 miles. Winds of at least 136 miles per hour ripped the roof off of a church, uprooted trees and power poles, tossing trailers like they were toys. Firefighters were able to rescue a woman trapped under her house. Daryl McMorris is thankful his daughter didn't sleep in her bed. Her mattress was thrown into a tree.
The next thing you know, everything just uprooted, thrown, tossed like a rag doll, and then slammed to the floor and everything on top of it.
The tornado also caused extensive damage at William Carey University. Buildings are crushed, cars overturned, and the roof of a lecture hall collapsed. The school is closed until further notice. In Alabama, severe storms left a trail of damage in Elmore County and the Wetumpka area. The storm took out several trees and power lines, which are now blocking the roads. 2 churches sustained roof damage. Parishioners had to stay inside for cover.
We spent some of the morning in our laundry room just watching the weather alerts and hoping for the best.
And it still has not been confirmed if a tornado in fact touched down in Elmore County. And ABC 7 will continue to monitor this line of severe storms and will bring you the latest until that threat is over. And as you you can get constant updates on those storms 24 hours a day on our website, mysuncoast.com, as well as our Facebook page. You can also download our app. Just search for Suncoast Weather. You will get notifications anytime there are watches or warnings issued, street closures or flooding problems directly to your smartphone. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, a sad day in Major League Baseball following the tragic deaths of 2 players. Plus, President Trump's words being called into question on his second day in office. Those stories straight ahead.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
It is not a protest. It is not anti-Trump. It is not anti-anything. It is a chance for us to come together as one. We are all in the same boat as Americans.
Solidarity and unity in divisive times. Millions take to the streets in the capital, and here on the Suncoast, I'm Alan Cohn. Will speak with the march organizers.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I entered into real estate to help people. I would like to invoke a trust in people that I will do everything in my power to help them navigate the process of either buying or selling a home. Well, I know how stressful buying a home can be. I've bought and sold properties in the past before I was an agent. I want you to be able to trust me to stay in contact with you, be available to you whenever you have questions. My name is Kimberly, and I want to be your real estate agent.
2 years ago, my son was born. Now he's running, playing, and learning to speak. When I look at him, I can't help but to see how free he is. I want my son to have the same freedom when he grows up. Protect our freedom of speech, not just for us, but for the future generations.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Now to a developing story in Texas. Police in San Antonio are responding to a shooting at a large shopping mall, the Rolling Oaks Mall. According to the mayor's office, 1 person is dead and 6 wounded in an attempted robbery. Reportedly, the robbery happened at K Jewelers in the mall. 1 suspect is in custody and police are searching for a second. Officials have asked everyone inside the mall to take shelter. President Donald Trump is greeting his new White House staff and meeting with law enforcement today, but his team is facing tough questions about what the president said yesterday. Trump's team spending their day defending the claims he made yesterday, disputing that the National Mall wasn't as packed during his inauguration as it was for some past ceremonies.
The point is not the crowd size. The point is the attacks and the attempt to delegitimize this president in one day. And we're not going to sit around and take it.
Trump's advisor Kellyanne Conway also announcing in an interview today saying that President Trump will not release his tax returns. And despite the windy weather this morning and afternoon, the Sarasota Seafood and Music Festival powering on downtown. Tents filled with local seafood and several live music acts drawing dozens to 5 Points Park. But some wish Sarasota would be open to more downtown festivals.
I am so glad to still have enough on Main Street. Everything is in Lakewood Ranch now.
It is the second year of the free event, and organizers hope it can become tradition as they continue to work with Sarasota's Downtown Merchants Association. So, Bob, let's take another look at that weather now. How are things picking up around our area?
Well, it's interesting. It's all about timing. We're in a high risk. It's something I haven't seen in 30 years here doing the weather. High risk, meaning there's a high risk of severe thunderstorm warnings. And we've already had one. It has expired, by the way, in Manatee County. That is now expired. It was to expire at 7. It is now expired. So that's a good sign. But there are more storms off in the Gulf, and that's what kind of concerns me. It's the actual squall line that's developing out ahead of the cold front. Now, the storms to the north of us have just been explosive with tornado and tornado warning one after another all throughout north central Florida and the coast there. So we'll have to keep an eye on the actual front too. But the storms out ahead of them typically have the stronger supercells and can contain water spouts and as they move on shore, as well as tornadoes like we saw last year. Windy weather already out there at Anna Maria. And as I mentioned, the tornado watch is in effect for our entire viewing area from Sarasota County northward through central Florida as well until 10 o'clock tonight. Now, this is the line, the actual cold front back here, which is causing the tornado outbreak to the north of us. So that still has to move through here. The squall line out ahead of it developed just about an hour and a half ago, and it has been rather intense, and it continues to intensify just to the west and southwest of Sarasota County. So folks haven't had a lot of rainfall, as we heard earlier from Erica on Siesta Key. It's about to come. And it looks like down in Venice, a couple of cells there. We'll keep an eye on those for you. Right now, as they move ashore, more than likely 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Some of them could get up as high as 60 to 70 miles an hour winds. We saw that earlier with the cells to the north. This is the actual front. So we had the first round. And once these move on shore and into inland counties, there's a potential for tornadoes to develop there too. So although the coastal counties may see a little break that we're seeing now in Manatee County with that expiration of that severe thunderstorm warning, there's going to be a little reprieve, and then in about an hour and a half from now, another line of intense storms will move through there. But then inland storms, also a possibility of producing an isolated tornado or two. You can see Siesta Key. I mentioned the rain. It's starting to rain there now, and the folks that Erica was talking about, I'm sure, getting out of the way currently as that cell is moving to the northeast at around 50 miles an hour. So they're racing to the northeast. And cloud tops, not all that impressive. They're at 34 to 35,000 feet at this point, but still enough to generate some strong winds up, as I said, 50 to 60 miles an hour. And there's some rotation, or at least some indication of some wind shear to the north of us near Anna Maria Island. These cells are the ones I talked about that we'll have to watch closely. Right now, some light rain near Venice and Osprey. Again, some heavier showers well offshore of Sarasota and Charlotte counties. I mentioned that tornado watch doesn't include Charlotte County. That may change here in the next couple of hours. They may extend it southward. Now, as far as the storms themselves out here, the timing of them, right around 9 o'clock for Sarasota, that's if it moves at the current rate. It could actually pick up some speed. So that particular cell offshore will take about an hour and a half from now to get on shore. And then this line is the front, which will be dropping southeastward. So we're going to stay in this threatening pattern at least through 10 o'clock tonight as we deal with that cold front moving on through. Currently at the Sarasota Bradian Airport, we have a storm 74. Dew point is at 70, and the pressure extremely low, 29.63 inches. Winds are sustained south at 23. We've had wind gusts up to 45 to 47 miles an hour at the St. Pete Airport, southward all the way down into the Southwest International Airport near Fort Myers. 80 degrees the high today, 72 the low. Those warm temperatures aid the storms too, so that's what we're seeing. And we could see up to a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall total across the region. And that's a good thing. We need the rain, but we don't need these severe storms. And looks like we're going to continue to see those. Mid-70s right now, upper 70s inland. Sebring now at 79. A lot of folks asking what the difference is between a watch and a warning. And that's an excellent question, because a watch just means be careful. There's a chance that we could see some warnings, like winds up to 60 miles an hour. And also we could see a tornado. It's not happening right now. That's when we issue the warning. The warning means it is happening. Take shelter immediately if you are in a warned area. Well, the good news is that we'll get out of this situation as far as severe weather goes after 10 o'clock, it looks like, as the system moves on through. We'll still see some showers, it looks like, overnight. And even into Monday morning, there's a chance for some rainfall during the morning, and then clearing and turning cooler back at least down to seasonal averages for highs and lows, both on Monday and Tuesday. And guess what? Another cold front is due to arrive later on this week as we move in through the week. A chance for some cooler weather to move in by Thursday and Friday. I mentioned the rainfall totals fairly high and fairly significant as we move through a ½ inch to an inch of rain when it's all said and done. For boaters, not the best weather, obviously. Rough conditions out there for tomorrow. West winds at 30 knots. They'll subside to 20 to 25 in the afternoon. Seas 12 to 16 feet. And that's what I want to talk about, is the fact that we have a coastal flood advisory too. We're going to see tides running about 2 to 3 feet above average, and that always does cause some problems there. High tide at 8 o'clock for our area, and then another high tide tomorrow, which will also be a factor at 11:32. Sunrise will be at 7:20. The extended forecast, then we'll send it back to Adam. Right there it is. Cooler weather on Tuesday, and it looks like another cold front, stronger one. Cooler temperatures Friday through Sunday. Adam?
Now, sports.
Somber day for Major League Baseball as a current and former player both die in car accidents today. Royals pitcher Yordano Ventura and former MLB infielder Andy Marte were killed in separate traffic accidents in their native Dominican Republic. 25-year-old Ventura was a rising star for Kansas City, helping the team reach the World Series in each of his first 2 seasons, winning it all in 2015. Marte played for 3 different teams in his 7-year career, 5 of those with the Cleveland Indians. Today, flags outside Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City lowered to half-staff as the city mourns the loss. Well, it's Championship Sunday in the NFL, and 2 teams were playing right in the danger zone up in Georgia. Matt Ryan and the Falcons hosting the Packers under the safety of the enclosed Georgia Dome. This one, all Falcons. They scored 24 points in the first half while holding Green Bay to 0 for the first 2 quarters. Nearly 500 yards of total offense for Atlanta. They rout the Packers 44-21. We'll stick around. We have Bob Harrigan coming up with the latest on this line of severe storms. Stay with us.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
I believe that home is where your pet is.
And that loving an animal means never giving up on them, never letting them go.
I believe that when you spay or neuter your pets, you help decrease the number of homeless animals.
Because every dog and cat deserves a place to call home.
I believe that I found my best friend at a shelter. And you can too.
We believe that together with Best Friends Animal Society,
we can bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets.
Visit ambassadors.bestfriends.org.
Why do I run? I think life's a journey. Every step brings me closer to my goal. I run to see the world, and when you're surrounded by so much beauty, how could it not take your breath away?
Join us at Robinson Preserve Friday, March 31st at 6:30 p.m. for our 9th annual Twilight 5K and 10K race. At one of the most beautiful scenic race courses in Florida. This race will leave you breathless.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community. Join ABC7 at the all-new 2017 edition of Circus Sarasota. Synergy under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC Friday, February 10th through Sunday, March 5th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805. Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
We're keeping a close eye on these storms, and Bob, what is the latest?
So far, so good. Tornado warnings and no warnings here. Lots to the north of us right now. We're under a tornado watch until, again, 10 o'clock tonight. It could be extended further south into Charlotte County. We got the team here, meteorologist Josh Stone, as well as Wendy Ross, taking updates on Facebook, answering questions as well, and updating our social media and our mysuncoast.com. So we're here. We're going to break into programming. If necessary, we'll also update Facebook through the night.
All right, and we do have reporters out in the field right now, so we'll be bringing you as much live team coverage as we can, so stay with us for those updates. For now, I'm Adam Cellini, Bob Harrigan, and we'll see you guys later tonight.
ABC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our office and ask for Teresa Witt.